Good morning, Taste Buds. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein. Stay where you are for another installment in my quick, easy, delicious series of shows with recipes that are quick, easy, and delicious. That's now on SoFlo Taste. How fun is that? Welcome all to SoFlo Taste. I'm Chef Michelle Bernstein, and welcome to the Goya Kitchen here at J World in Coconut Creek. And welcome to my second installment of what I call Quick, Easy, Delicious here on SoFlo Taste. Now, what can I say about today's recipes? They're fast, they're not complicated, and taste good.
Quick, easy, delicious.
Okay, so let's get the recipes that define today's title. Let's get cooking. We're gonna make a sheet pan bibimbap. So bibimbap is a dish that I actually had in Korea and I learned how to make in Korea. And this is a different way to do it and a heck of a lot easier. So we're gonna take kale and put it like on one little quadrant of a sheet pan. We're gonna take some oyster mushrooms and put them on another quadrant of the sheet pan. And then some sliced red onions here. And then we're going to cut some sweet potato and do the same on the other side. And this is a gorgeous sweet potato. Look at that color, it's so pretty. So let's cut these in quarter moons. So let's cut it lengthwise, again in half. And then slice it up. Not too thin, because this is all going to go into the oven for about 20 minutes. And we don't want it to just disintegrate completely. Let's do a little bit more. Okay, good. Let's throw this over here on this corner, whoopsie, of the sheet pan. Okay, the next thing we do is take some extra virgin olive oil and drizzle it evenly amongst all the 4 ingredients. A little kosher salt and black pepper. Let's mix it up just to make sure that everything is kind of even, and the onion. Okay. We're going to go in a really hot oven, and we're going to go on the top. I have another sheet pan just below this that I'm going to start warming up on the bottom of the oven, because believe it or not, we're going to put eggs on it and rice as well. So hold on one sec. Let's put this up on the top and this down on the bottom. Okay, let's jump into the next recipe, because the pork chops will take a little bit to cook as well. So check out these absolutely beautiful pork chops. The bone is Frenched, which means it's beautifully clean, and it's just gorgeous. Bone-in pork chops are so yummy. Delaware Chicken Farm and Seafood Market wants me to remind you that June is wild salmon season at Delaware. Get yours by calling 954-983-6831 or going to delawarechicken.com to place an order. Pick up by car, they'll deliver it to you. You can go to 4191 North State Road 7 in Hollywood, or you can always just walk in and pick it up there. I love walking in because they have so much great stuff. This pork chop, that wild salmon, and a ton more. Make sure you tell them that I sent you for some wild salmon. They'll be extra nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and start cooking this. I have to cook in a cast iron pan. That's how I cook a lot of things, but especially a bone-in pork chop. There's nothing better. So for seasoning this, I thought that I'd get into the family of anise. You can use either fennel seed or anise seed and just toast it and grind it up a little bit, and this is how it is. And it's, this is so yummy. I love this in cookies and I love it on pork. I don't know, just delicious. I also have a little caraway seed, but I'm gonna add that in later because it can burn. So I'm gonna add salt, a good amount, and pepper. These are pretty large, and I'm not sure how you like your pork cooked, but for my pork chops, I don't really like it much above a medium. And then I'm going to do a little bit of anise seed on both sides. So again, we're going to do salt, pepper, and the anise. Okay. For cooking, I'm going to use a little vegetable oil. And once it gets pretty hot, as the pan is already pretty warm, I'm going to go ahead and add a little bit of butter because I feel like I need both fats. Once the oil begins to foam, go ahead and add your pork chops to the pan. Beautiful. All right, I'm gonna let these cook. We're gonna let them get nice and softly golden on both sides. And of course, when I come back, more of my
Quick, easy, delicious.
yes, my quick, easy, delicious recipes after the break. Come right back. I love you guys. You did so well.
Come back to the Goya Kitchen at J.A. World, Michelle, and the food. This is SoFlo Taste.
Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I am here basting my pork chop. We're making things that are very simple. So I am teaching you all now how to baste pork chops. So I started these in a little bit of oil and butter, and now I'm just basting. And now that they're golden all over, I'm actually going to spoon out a little bit of the fat, because I even have limits in how much fat I eat, believe it or not. So now I have left probably about a teaspoon left of fat in here. What we're going to do is throw in some nice big slices of scallions, some gorgeous snap peas, and we really want them to coat the pan. So just make sure you shake it until everything really is touching the bottom of the pan. We're going to add a little bit of minced garlic. So I'm going to go ahead and cover this up. I'm going to give it about, at the most, 2 minutes, and then it should be ready. Let's jump over to the bibimbap that's in the oven. Remember, I have oyster mushrooms and kale. What else was up there? Sweet potatoes and onions. Now we're going to make the rice and the eggs in the second pan. So let's go ahead and distribute as evenly as I can the oil onto the pan. Now the pan is really hot. It's been in the oven for about 15 minutes. We're going to take some of last night's leftover Chinese rice, but of course you can have your own rice if you want. You can make it and just keep it in the fridge, break it up, and then put it onto the pan on top of the oil. Then we're going to take a couple of eggs and we're going to crack them right onto the pan. Okay, we're going to take a towel, going to throw it back in the oven. And we've got about 5 more minutes left on this, or until, of course, the eggs are cooked. Let's jump back over to the pork chops. Remember I told you I wanted to add a little caraway seed to this, so I'm going to do that now. Caraway seed goes beautifully with pork, and it also happens to go beautifully with snap peas. I'm going to add just another pinch of that anise seed that I told you all about, and shut the heat off. Let's go ahead and take a look at this gorgeous plate. Oh, beautiful. So the pork chops are fully cooked. I would say that they're about a medium, almost medium well. So they're still juicy, but there's no pink left. Let's gather up these gorgeous snap peas with their scallions and the spices. What a beautiful dish. So much color. Get everything up out of your pan. I really don't think I need starch on this. I think we've got enough going on as it is. And what I love is that the pork cooked perfectly, but then the snap peas still have a little bit of crunch. They're just starting to get soft. And look how gorgeous that is. So bright and colorful, all made in one pan, and so simply. The only thing I might add to this is a topping of some crunchy big sea salt right over the top of it. All right, let's check in with our bibimbap. Eggs are almost done. Let's go ahead and get ready for that. So, have you ever seen this? This is called gochujang. Gochujang is a delicious chili paste from Korea. It's so good. Now, it doesn't burn your mouth immediately. You put it on the bibimbap and it's kind of like a slow heat. It's just delicious. I love it. We also use a little bit of toasted sesame. So let's get our vegetables out. Our egg needs 1 more minute. So let's take a look at everything. Our sweet potatoes are beautifully tender. Look how beautifully crisp our mushrooms are. And I love the part that sticks to the pan because you know that that's really nice and crisp. So we have crispier ones around, soft ones in the middle. We have crunchy kale chips for this. And then of course our onions are a combination of soft and crisp. So let's put this like this. Get our plate, and our eggs are cooked. Let's start out with the rice, and it has a little bit of crispness because it's stuck to the pan, which is so yummy. Let's go ahead and put the rice down. Bibimbap, when it comes to your table when you're in Korea, or of course at really good Korean restaurants like we have here in South Florida, the rice comes sizzling on a pot when it comes to your table. It has like a cast iron type of pot with sizzling rice down below. And then of course, we'll put the different vegetables on and around. This crispy kale is just gorgeous. And then of course the onions. And then for the eggs, try not to break the egg. But then of course you break it anyway. But I think I did pretty good. All right, then we're gonna take the gochujang and put a nice helping right on top. And then finally sesame seeds around. Oh my goodness, it worked. This is so excited. This is our sheet pan bibimbap. So come right back for more
Quick, easy, delicious.
recipes. Remember, my recipes are always available on the SoFlo Show's webpage. Just scan this quick response code and you'll be swept to the SoFlo Show's page. Find the recipe you want, print it, take it to the grocery store for ingredients. Now come right back because I got lots more. You guys are great.
The fun continues right after SoFlo Taste with SoFlo Home Project, next on Local 10.
SoFlo Taste will return right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. So we have beautiful food. We made it so quickly. This is so exciting. You know, usually as a chef, it takes me a long time to really get to the final product, but here we are making fast and delicious recipes, and they're coming out beautifully. So the last recipe I wanted to show you, really interesting French toast recipe. This one is made on a sheet pan. Let's just jump right into the recipe, shall we? So I have a couple of eggs and a yolk in here. To that, we'll add milk, heavy cream, vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, cardamom, a little nutmeg. You can buy ground nutmeg, but it's so much yummier when you just scrape it on a microplane, and it's pretty easy. Some granulated sugar, And lastly, this part was really cool for me, the liquor from 1 grapefruit. So the liquor is basically all the juices that are in the grapefruit after you cut the grapefruit in sections. And there you have it. So one easy and very clean way to do this is by putting nice thick slices of either like a farmer's type bread or a sourdough into a bag with a closure, a plastic bag with closure, and then pour your batter right into that. Go ahead and seal the bag, and you can let this sit actually overnight if you have time to do so. Lay it flat like so, and in a few hours I would pick it up and flip it over, and that way you really get the coating of the batter all over your bread. I already have a sheet pan in the oven, so what we're going to do to get this going, that's going to get a little butter on it. These have been sitting overnight with the batter. Let's go ahead and put some sugar down. Okay, sugar down on a pan. Take the bread gingerly, because remember, it's really wet. Although it is really thick slices, this is about 1.5 inches. And go ahead and place the bread right down into the sugar. And then we're going to take the rest of the sugar and just spread it evenly amongst the bread. All right. So these are pretty well coated in sugar now. Let's go ahead and take the pan out of the oven. So this is really hot. This is set at about 425 degrees. Keep that oven hot. We're going to go ahead and put 2 pieces of butter on the pan and just let it melt. Just be really careful. Once that's spread out, go ahead and place your French toast slices onto the pan. And let's go back in the oven, but we're going to lower the heat down to about 400 degrees. Okay, when you come back, we should have French toast. We'll see. I'm going to go ahead, just so you know, flip that over halfway through the cooking time. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. We'll see what's cooking on SoFlo Taste right after this. Welcome back to SoFlo Taste. I think that we should check on our French toast. This show is all about easy, quick, delicious foods, and it's the first time I'm actually making French toast on a sheet pan in an oven. No pan on my burner, no switching pots and pans, just one is great. Oy. These are very handsome. Okay, let's go ahead and put a couple. My goodness. I don't know if I could even eat a half of one of these. Well, I don't eat bread, so I'm not eating any of this. This might make me want to cheat. All right, so let's come over here and top this with, remember I have the grapefruit because we put the liquor of the grapefruit into our batter. So let's top this with some fresh grapefruit. We've got all kinds of yummy berries as well. And then, I don't know about you, I cannot have French toast without some maple syrup. Of course, if you don't like maple syrup, you can always do some powdered sugar or cinnamon sugar. Oh, delish. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you've enjoyed these recipes and that you'll, of course, try one, two, or all of them. They're guaranteed to get you out of the kitchen fast and to rave reviews. It's mango time in SoFlo. Next week, I'm giving you recipes featuring the juicy, sweet, refreshing fruit that may be growing on a tree in your yard, or even better, growing on a tree in your neighbor's yard. So be here for recipes for the mango on the next SoFlo Taste. But hurry, they'll be gone come October. Now let's check in with my friend, our friend, Elena Capra, host of SoFlo Home Project. Good morning, Elena. What are you doing next on SoFlo Home Project?
Hi, Michelle. Good morning. So today we are visiting a tailor of sorts, not for clothing, but for custom furniture. Coming up on SoFlo Home Project, learn how custom-built furniture is designed to fit your lifestyle.
Thank you, Elena. We love to see what you designers can do. So, Taste Buds, thanks for spending another morning with me. I love sharing our time. Please be smart, be safe, and be vaccinated. And I'll see you next week. Goodbye, mwah, and good taste.